Dear students, myself Satish Goda, Assistant Professor and HOD, Department of Zoology, Government First Grade College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Shira. Today I am going to speak on topic symbiosis, commensalism and zoonosis. The topic belongs to 3rd BSc 6th semester Zoology, Paper 7 Applied Zoology of Tumkur University. Students, what is symbiosis? Symbiosis means it is a type of animal association where two partners are living together where no partner is harmed, but one or both partners are benefited. Each organism in this association is called as symbiont. In this type of association, each organism is called as symbiont. Organisms may be same or different species. Symbiosis may be obligate. Symbiosis may be compulsory. When the relationship between two species is so interdependent, here the organisms are unable to survive without each other. For example, lichens, which consists of fungal and photosynthetic symbionts. The fungal partners cannot live on their own. Symbiosis may be facultative. When the relationship between two species is not interdependent, here the organisms can survive individually. Organisms can survive individually. Then it becomes facultative symbiosis. For example, honeybees and plants can live together independently, can survive independently. Symbiosis symbiosis type of relationship occurs naturally in the environment or in nature. It may be a mutualism, or it may be a commensalism, or it may be a parasitism. So what is mutualism? What is mutualism? So here the two individuals of different species, or two individuals are living together for temporary or a permanent, but here both individuals get benefit. Look at this first picture. Here a bird is picking food from the teeth of crocodile. In this process, the bird will get food, and in turn simultaneously crocodile the teeth get cleaned. Here both the organisms or animals get benefit each other. This is called as mutualism. This is the best example, crocodile and bird. And another one interesting example I quoted here. Look at the second picture. Here you can see sea anemone, which is attached to the shell of the hermit crab. In this example, sea anemone with hermit crab, or hermit crab with sea anemone. So in this process, hermit crab getting food from or getting prey paralyzed by the sea anemone. In turn, sea anemone getting benefit in the form of transportation. In the form of transportation. When the hermit crab moves, sea anemone is also moving from one place to another place. In this way, sea anemone getting benefit from hermit crab getting benefit in the form of prey paralyzed by the tentacles of the sea anemone, because sea anemone is a attached form or sedentary form. And this is one more example for the mutualism. And coming to the commensalism. What is commensalism? The term commensalism means eating at the same table. Eating at the same table. It is a symbiotic, interspecific association where one organism gets benefit and other is not harmed. Other is not harmed. A commensalism is a relationship between two individuals of two species in which one species obtain food or other benefits from the other without either harming or benefiting the later. So commensalism means the two organisms are living together, but one organism getting benefit whereas another organism not getting benefit and not harmed by the other organism. See, commensal organisms get benefits in the form of association, maybe nutrients, shelter, support or locomotion from the host, the species which is unaffected. Host species which is unaffected. Some examples for commensalism, here I quoted some examples, suckerfish and shark. So you heard that suckerfish is attaches to the shark body, whereas shark does not get affected by the suckerfish. Suckerfish get benefit from moving from one place to another place. The cattle egret and grazing cattle. This is one more example. Sea anemone that has stinging tentacles and the clownfish that lives among them. Clownfish lives among them. So these are the best examples for commensalism. And coming to the reservoir. Here reservoir means any person or animal or plant or soil or substance, any substance in which an infectious agent normally lives and multiplies. So here harbors means, reservoir means it is a harbor for the infectious agent. Reservoir host is an animal that becomes infected and serve as a source from which other animal is infected. Reservoirs are living organisms or non-living sites. Non-living reservoirs are soils and water in the environment. Reservoir of infection, say for example, aquatic birds including gulls, terns and shorebirds, and waterfowl such as ducks, geese and swans are considered as reservoirs hosts for avian influenza viruses. These birds, aquatic birds, acts as a host, reservoir hosts for influenza virus. And coming to the last bit of a topic in this session, that is zoonosis. Zoonosis means, the term zoonosis is a disease of animals. Disease of animals. The term zoonosis, the word is taken from Greek language. Zoon means animal and nosos means sickness. Zoonosis is an infectious disease that can be naturally transmitted between the animals and humans. So zoonosis means the disease of animals that can be transmitted by the animals to the human beings. Transmission occurs when the animal infected with bacteria, viruses, parasites and fungi comes in contact with humans. Example, Ebola virus disease and salmonellosis. HIV was a zoonotic disease transmitted to humans in the early part of the 20th century. Zoonosis can be caused by the range of diseases such as viruses, bacteria, fungi, and parasites. Most humans' diseases originates from the animals. Zoonosis has different modes of transmission. So in direct zoonosis, the disease is directly transmitted from the animals to the humans through media such as air, influenza virus, or through bites and saliva. This is a rabies virus. Intermediate species referred to as a vector. See here, the direct transmission of the diseases from animals to the human beings through media such as air or through bites of the animals. When humans infect animals, it is called a reverse zoonosis or anthroponosis. When humans infect animals, it is called as reverse zoonosis or anthroponosis. Means the human beings infects the animals by transmitting the pathogens to the animals. Here there are some common zoonotic diseases. For example, rabies. Rabies disease is a common zoonotic disease which affects the nervous system of mammals. It is usually caused by the virus and is transmitted if an infected animal bites a person. Lyme disease and Rocky Mountain spotted fever. This Lyme disease is transmitted through the tick bites. Dengue, malaria and chikungunya. These are the mosquito-borne diseases and are more common in certain areas where the mosquitoes are very rich. And the symptoms of these diseases are fever, vomiting and headaches. And one more, pittacosis. Pittacosis, also known as ornithosis or parrot fever. Pittacosis is a bacterial disease that most oftenly affects the birds. Humans can get it from feathers, secretions and droppings of birds. So pittacosis fever, the symptoms, disease symptoms are like this: fever, headache, dry cough. In serious cases, it may cause pneumonia also, pittacosis. And other types of zoonosis means the diseases which are transmitted from the animals to the human beings. They are anthrax, avian influenza, bird flu, tuberculosis, cat scratch fever, Ebola, West Nile fever or West virus leprosy, Zika fever, trichinosis, swine influenza and histoplasmosis, etc. These are some different important zoonosis. Means the diseases which are coming from the animals to the human beings, or animals to or human beings to animals, or one animal to the other animals. That is known as, this is about zoonosis and the types of zoonosis. Students, I hope you understood well about the symbiosis, commensalism, reservoir and zoonosis. I will conclude my topic here. I will meet you in the next session with a different topic. Till then, be safe, be aware of corona, take care of your health. Thank you.